Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing alright today. It's more of a stable day, let's say. Today's nothing extremely excited, on the agenda. There's nothing to be super buzzing about, but at the end of the day, the bare minimum has been achieved. And that is 3 points against a relegation fighting Leeds. And Chelsea have scored a goal for the first time since, January or something crazy like that. So there are things to take from it, and we can breathe. We actually have a little bit of room to breathe today. However, before we get into it, I have to say, did all of you just see how Arsenal ended? Unbelievable scenes. They were 2-0 down. And then they come back to 2-2 in the space of a second. And at the 96th minute, they get the winner. I mean, unbelievable. And this is why I've been saying Arsenal will be champions. I don't care how many results Man City will get. Arsenal have champions' luck this season. And you make your own luck. But there are things that have to come your way, such as the corner that's going to get you the goal or something like that. And it happened to Arsenal today, 97th minute, and they get the winner. And it is what it is. When you have results like that, you are going to win the title. So, bloody hell, unbelievable. But for Chelsea, unbelievable things as well. I mean, Chelsea scored the goal. Chelsea scored the goal, and we actually won a football match. Was it in very nice fashion? No. But I'll take it. As I said, I can't, backtrack on what I've said previously. I would take a win no matter what. Was it beautiful? No. Did it have to be done? Yes. The manner in terms of how I honestly think we could have thrown that result away was very close. But thankfully Leeds, I wouldn't say stepped off the gas, but it kind of looked like they just ran out of any ideas. They had a few things going for them towards the end of the first half, and I thought that they would continue on that trajectory. And after we made some certain substitutions, I honestly thought Leeds are gonna find their way back into this game. And they had opportunity, although us just sitting back and just waiting just kind of killed the game off to an extent. So there is that. We'll get into all of it. Let's start off with the way that we actually started. We started in a back three, which was many people's preferred formation to go to a 3-4-3. And as I said, I truly don't think playing a back three or a back four is going to make such a huge difference with the way that we've been playing lately. It's not a case of, we're making one little tactical change or one strategic amendment and all of a sudden we're going to look like we're fantastic. That's not the case. We've had a lot of things going wrong for us mentally. Confidence is completely low. There's nothing to gain any inspiration from, and that's just the way that it's been. So you go to a back three, back four, you're going to find the same loopholes, and I feel like that's what opponents have been trying to do against us. I feel like there was a strategy that Leeds tried to use against us today, and had they continued that in the second half, they might have got somewhere. But the first half was same story. First 20, 25, 30 minutes even, let's say 30 minutes. First 25, 30 minutes, we looked good. I wouldn't say fantastic, but we looked good. We were in control. We had chances. Kai Havertz, I mean, as I tweeted, he couldn't hit a ball into an open field, even if he was asked to. That's how off target the guy is right now. It's actually scary, and how he's getting played, I genuinely don't know. At this point, I don't know. I'm lost for words. I'm not even at a point anymore where I'm like, what is he doing on the pitch? Now I'm just like, look, what do you actually see? Because at this point, I genuinely am confused how he gets game time. In that role, especially as the forward man, I don't understand. So there's that. There were opportunities. Felix hitting the bar, that was unlucky. So we had that. And you kind of got the vibe that Leeds were sitting off, trying to defend and just contain. Spurs done it. Southampton done it. The past 3 games before that, the opponent's done the same thing, where for the first 20, 30 minutes, you don't really see much of them. It looks like Chelsea are actually playing well. And then you start to see the switch. And then they start to move forward. They start to pass the ball around. They start to play the football that they want to play. I get the vibe that teams come to the bridge or they play against us wherever, and then they observe. They just look. For the first 20, 30 minutes, How are they playing? What avenues are they going down? What spaces are they leaving? Who is susceptible to losing the ball? Who isn't? Who's playing well? Who isn't? And then we can base our whole strategy based upon that. That is how I honestly see, because Leeds, for the last 15 minutes of the first half, actually looked like scoring. And we just looked flat. We switched off. And it wasn't a case of switching off. It was a case of the opposition actually waking up because they chose to. And we just struggled to come to terms with that. So hence why at halftime the team got booed off. Not a surprise, because it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough towards the end of that first half. And then I genuinely thought going into the second half, we would see us switch off and then Leeds take more and more control. And as it started to shake up and it started to get a little bit weird towards just after the kickoff, we get a corner. Lo and behold, Chilwell ball into the box. Wesley Fofana heads the ball into the net for Chelsea's first goal since January, and my eyes were popping out of my head. I'm thinking, no, hang on. I forgot what this feels like. I forgot how it feels like for Chelsea to score a goal. What am I meant to do? Am I meant to jump up with two hands? Am I meant to scream? I forgot. I've forgotten. It's been so long that I've forgotten the last time I did it, celebrating a goal. Right, so I'm glad. Overall, I'm just really glad. I'm just really glad that Chelsea found a goal, and it had to be a defender. It just had to be. It had to be a centre-back or a wing-back or a full-back or any sort of back to get the ball in the net and score for Chelsea Football Club. Wesley Fofana, after coming back from his injury, gets the goal. Happy days. And from this point, I thought, okay, we can go on now. Confidence will be lifted. Let's try and maybe get a second goal. We got to try and kill this, because Leeds now are going to come up all guns blazing because they have to. They are forced. So as we were initially set up in the 3-4-3, we were initially set up with Badiashile, Koulibaly, Fofana, and then the 4 with the 2 wing backs of Chilwell, Loftus-Cheek, Kovacic, and Enzo, and then the front 3 of Felix, Kai Havertz, and Raheem Sterling. Sterling as well, another one in the first half that actually looked like he had a lot of impact. Fofana scores, and then Leeds start coming out, and then we decide to switch things up, right? We decide to make a couple of substitutions, and this is where my mind got a little bit weird. And albeit we won today, but bloody hell, that was risky. Potter thinks it's a good idea to bring on Gallagher and Zakaria. Zakaria I've not really got much against. Gallagher, to be honest, Gallagher came on today, and the couple of chances he had on the ball, he actually done well, especially towards the end where he managed to keep the ball on, get past the defender, and then get the ball across. The other one was setting up Chukwuemeka, who really could have taken a shot and he chose not to. But he takes off Felix and he takes off Sterling. Sterling, without a doubt, our best player today. Hands down, right? Felix at times looked, especially in space, had the ability to move the ball quite well. Takes them both off. With 25 minutes remaining, takes those 2 off. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why? Some people are going to say he's resting them for Dortmund. But at that moment, it's a very risky move. And yeah, we won 1-0. It paid off, right? But very risky with that much time remaining. That's a substitution I wouldn't mind seeing with 10 minutes to go. 10, 15 max, 25 minutes left, and he takes off Sterling and Felix. That honestly had me baffled. With 15 minutes remaining, we bring on Chukwuemeka, take off Kovacic. I don't mind that, to be honest. Chukwuemeka, I feel like, deserves more game time, so I'm absolutely not in the gutter about that. Then takes off Loftus-Cheek, takes off Enzo, brings on Madueke, brings on Chalobah. So at this point, we're parking the entire bus against Leeds United in 17th, right? We're parking the bus at home against Leeds that are in the relegation scrap, and this is what we've come to try and scrape a win. Now, this is what I'm saying. I'm not entirely against that, because from Potter's perspective, he's thinking, we absolutely need to get a win. I don't care if I need to park a triple-decker bus here in order for me to get a win. We need to get a win. But it's actually insane to think that is what we have to do to get a win at home against Leeds. That is what we've come to. Now, 1-0 on the day, and Leeds, as I've said, in that second half, when we did make those substitutions, how did it switch again? It switched again. Leeds took the control. Leeds could have done better. I'm looking at Leeds today and thinking, they were wasteful, especially in midfield. Adams, I felt like, was the one that lost the ball quite a lot for Leeds. Somerville, I have to say, right, if I'm a Chelsea scout, I'm looking at Somerville. I am, without question, I am looking at that boy. Because, wow, his speed on the ball is insane. It's insane. I felt like if he had better quality around him, he could have been lethal. He really could have been. Somerville, and the way that he moves is actually quite something to watch. So fair play to him. I would keep tabs on him for the rest of the season. I would be watching Somerville very closely. And I might actually do that, I might keep an eye on Somerville for the rest of the season, see how Leeds are doing and see how he's playing. Because he looks like a baller. He's someone that you would definitely, I think, take in the Chelsea team, wouldn't you? So there is that. Although we have wingers, so it's not really much of an issue. We've got Mudryk that's not used. Thank God for that, because 007 would have been a thing today. But anyway, but that was really it. From Leeds, they really didn't create much with the opportunity that they did get when the space started showing for them. And when we did make those substitutions to, lock the game off, Leeds had a lot more of the ball and could have done a lot more with it. So I have to be honest here and say, look, the performance, we can't get carried away, right? It wasn't fantastic. It wasn't brilliant. We had moments. We capitalised on one chance, happily. We didn't capitalise on the others that we should have. Same could be said for Leeds. So this is where it kind of equals itself out. But Fofana coming to the rescue with that header. And the most important thing is that we've got 3 points. So I'm not going to dwell too much on the performance because we got the result. We've been asking for results. We've been asking for a win. We've been asking for a goal. We got a goal. We got a win. We didn't get a brilliant performance, but we got some sort of a performance that got us over the line. So with that, happy days, because that's the bare minimum. Let me tell you how I honestly see and assess today. Today's performance, right, today's game and the way that we did it, the way that we won, the way that we actually performed overall to get that result should be the bare minimum. That should be scraping the barrel. So Chelsea on a normal day would be looking at a performance like this and going, oh, bloody hell, we didn't play well, did we? I mean, yeah, we got a result though. So we got a result, but that wasn't fantastic. That is how it honestly should be. Today is the bare minimum at how Chelsea, on a normal occasion, should be operating. But today, I know we're going to get some people praising, ultimately, because we're so desperate. We're desperate for a goal. We're desperate for a win, and we got it, right? So we need to shift that mentality. We need to bring ourselves up a little bit, because I'm telling you, this team is more than capable. More than capable. So today's performance, it's got to be better than today. So right now, in the circumstances we're in, the most important thing is getting a win, and we got one. So happy days, happy days. But as I've said, in terms of how we played today, and if we're going to carry that forward, you can't do that against Dortmund. The way that we played today cannot be done against Dortmund. We play like how we did today against Dortmund, we're finished. We're finished. Like how we did today against Dortmund is done. We can't do that. So as I've said, scraping the barrel, right? But in context, in isolation, a win is what we wanted. We scored a goal. We'll take it. We will absolutely take it. And let's move on to Dortmund. But as I've said, we need to up ourselves for the Dortmund game. We absolutely have to. And it's paid off that Sterling and Felix, the two players that actually looked good today. Enzo, you could say to that extent, although defensively Enzo was a little bit suspect, but going forward and sending those cross-diagonal balls, Enzo looked really comfortable there. But in terms of being able for them to rest and get some minutes of rest, has paid off for us as well. In the end, it did. Very risky, but it paid off. So, fair enough. We got a win. We got a goal. Happy days, right? We move on to Dortmund. And we'll see how we do. Has the confidence lifted? Not entirely. But it's something. We'll take it. So there we are. We still sit 10th. Aston Villa did win. So had it stayed 0-0, we would have been into 11th. So for the win, we got ourselves in 10th to stay there. And Aston Villa still on our heels on the same amount of points despite goal difference. And Crystal Palace, 5 points behind us and Aston Villa. The same goes for Wolves, who have beaten Tottenham Hotspur unbelievably. So there's that. And there we are. We'll see what happens going forward. So thank you all very much. Let me know down below how you saw things today. And are you happy? Are you not? That we actually managed to score a goal and we actually managed to win a game. Unbelievable. And give me your thoughts as well in isolation about Arsenal and that comeback, because that's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. But let me know down below. Much appreciated. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash the like button if you've enjoyed this. And we roll on to Dortmund. Let us pray. And let's hope we play better than we did today and we have something to build on in order for us to even have a chance. So come on, let's do this. I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new one, people. Have a good one. See you then. Take care and peace.